All right, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it is finally here. Everybody's been waiting all week for Thursday night. Here we are live at the 11th annual Accelerated Spring Fling, presented by TeamVLR.com. We are here at the Knoxville Raceway for server group number 1. Just about 50 of the top iRacing late model drivers out here tonight, and qualifying has already begun. So tonight's festivities are going to be bit, bat, boom. If you didn't grab you a drink, a snack, or anything before we went live, you have made a grave mistake. So tonight is going to be a lot of action-packed racing. 5 heats coming up later on, a C main, a B main, and a sub-feature to determine, I believe, the inside row of the feature race that's going to be brought to you later on by RaceSpot and iRacing Live. And joining me tonight in the booth is Dylan Ackard. And Dylan, I mean, are you as excited as I am, man?
Wes, I've been on the TeamSpeak waiting to get this night started since probably around 2 o'clock Eastern time, getting ready, talking to a lot of these drivers, seeing what they're thinking about. And let me tell you, these guys are pumped. They're so excited to get this race finally started and going. It's going to be a fun night.
Yeah, and at the end of the night, we'll crown a champion for this 11th annual race and give away over, well, just at $3,300 in purse money to these individuals. We have a stacked field in both servers. RaceSpot will be live with server 2, or they might be live right now as well. But server number 1, you got the likes of, let's look through the name list here. You got Alex Bergeron, Howard Weaver, Drew Hertzko, Garrett Naberge, Todd Fiddler, excuse me. Your top 5 here in qualifying so far, with Bergeron on the pole with an 18.669. As most of the drivers have taken time, they've only got about a minute and a half left to get these 2 laps in, and then we'll be set to go for heat number 1 in just a couple of minutes. But I mean, a lot of the regulars that we see here at OCTV on the weekly VLR series. So, I mean, I'm excited. You know, a couple other names I'm noticing out here: Cole Cabre, Tyler Ducharme, you got Chad Wheeler, Tommy Rowe, Stephen Bordeaux. Even back here, Britton Roxbury. We've seen him a couple of times on OCTV. And then a couple of guys back here at the back. Chris Brenner's in the race. Ronnie Wainscott. John Literal from last night. Lewis Hewitt actually just went to position number 11 on the board. Or actually, that's a little bit further down. I had to scroll back up. There's so many drivers in this server, I don't know how to contain myself.
And there is currently 47 drivers that have been on the track, that have made a qualifying lap. Everyone's been out. But looking through some names that you didn't say, the 228 of Cole Cobb, he's in here. I've known him a lot. Justin Thomas in that 23, starting 24th. There's so many names in here that we see through, not just in VLR, but all throughout the leagues and iRacing, that are always fast and always competitive, all in one place, here to get the prize money.
And they're even shorter heats than I thought we were going to have. Only 8 laps for these drivers to cement their place into the sub feature tonight. So we're going to take the top 3 from each of our heats, as iRacing is telling us right now. Let's see if that changes when we change to servers. But I mean, these races are going to be gone in a flash. Heat 1 set to take the grid here momentarily. Oh man, the track is worn out to perfection. You saw it in qualifying. You're going to see it here in the race. Hopefully we have a 2-groove racetrack, and hopefully, you know, these drivers, they make it home in one piece tonight. Alex Bergeron going to start on the pole with the quick time tonight of the 18.669. He's yet to load into the grid. There he goes. He pops up. Going to have the 02 of John Fiddler to his outside in row number 1. The 56 of Brad Dyer going to start out of that 3rd position. And the 86 of John Literal rolling in 4th. Cole Cabre in the 228 going to start in 5th. Ryan Keller in the 98 going to start in 6th. 7th goes to Colin Kilt in the 91 car, excuse me. Kyle Beck in the 8 car. Going to start out of position number 8. And row 5 going to be the 60 of Brandon Boyd and the 101 of Bryson Curry. Drivers are rolling out onto the track. We got 2 parade laps, and then we get tonight's festivities underway here. 8 laps going to be put on the board. And Dylan, what do you expect out of these heats in this track tonight?
I think this track, you know, Knoxville is just a great track because you don't rely on the banking. You know, there's not a lot of banking here at this track. It's a very flat track when you look at dirt tracks. We're gonna have a lot of fun because I think we're gonna see all the lanes being used tonight. You know, Knoxville is usually a bottom dominant lane. A lot of these drivers are taking that bottom side, but it's definitely gonna be interesting seeing what lane, how these first heat races are gonna go. Because we're not even going to transition from one server to the next after we get done with qualifying. We're going to go straight in to the C, to the B, and then to the 30-lap feature. So, sub-feature, I mean. So it's going to be a lot of usage on this track. A lot of these drivers are going to be sitting back doing a lot more final tweaking that a lot of drivers were talking about throughout the week, trying to get these cars set up, ready to go, make sure they have everything they need, the proper fuel, proper handling, proper everything. But Pace Truck comes off the track, and we go green for heat number 1.
Yep, down and away is Alex Bergeron in that completely white. We're going to call him Casper right now in that 12 car. The O2 filler in his tire tracks on the high side. Oh, the 86, the literal, goes around on the front stretch. No cautions in the heat, so that's going to take the wind out of everybody's sails who got involved. The 98, the 60 involved as well, but Bergeron out front. You got John Fidler in second and Brad Dyer in the 56 car. So it didn't take long for a couple of guys to get eliminated from this heat, but they still have a chance to transfer through that C and B main, but it's going to be a tough one here tonight as our top 3 is pretty much broken away from the rest of the pack. Colin Schlitt in that in that 4th spot in the 91 car. He's got his work cut out for him to try and see if he can't make this sub feature here.
Yeah, he's currently a little over a second back from 3rd place, Brad Dyer. So he has a lot of work to go, and he looks like he's extremely tight, not being able to rotate that car to the middle of the corner. So he's definitely going to have maybe doing a little bit of changing the setup when he goes in to whatever feature he goes into. But looking at Alex, he has a perfect car. You know, a lot of drivers are saying to keep out for some of these drivers. Alex Bergeron's one of them that they say watch out for. Josh Phillips, which is in the other server, I believe, in server number 2. But so many names a lot of people are afraid of because they're just so fast when it comes to these late models that you're always going to see some kind of battle somewhere.
Well, pretty much single file action throughout the whole field. Bergeron only needs to make 3 more laps to take away the checkered flag for heat number 1, and then he gets to sit around until the sub feature later on. So he's got a lot of cooldown time in between this heat and when the sub feature goes up. But that's if John Fidler can't catch him in that O2 car. He's been stalking him the whole race. It just doesn't seem like that O2 is as hooked up as that 12 car is. And back down the backstretch they go into 3 and 4. Bergeron sees the white flag in the hand of the flagman. 1 more lap to go here for heat number 1. Bergeron back into turns 1 and 2 for the final time. Keeps that momentum on that high side, keeps that gap up. He's got about a 6 car length advantage heading into turn number 3. Fidler just going to ride in the back, take the transfer spot. Brad Dyer in that 56 going to get it as well. But Alex Bergeron wins heat number 1.
Alex did everything he needed to do. Just make sure that he's locked in. He might go around and do a little bit more adjustments on that car, but I have a really good feeling that his crew chief and he's ready to go for this main feature right after this. But
yeah, John Fidler, John Fidler, Brad Dyer, Colin Schlitt going to be the first one out, so he might go to the B main. Cole Cabre, Kyle Beck, Bryson Curry, John Littoral, Ryan Keller, and Brandon Boyd. The remainder of the grid, or the results for heat number 1. Heat number 2, just as stacked as the rest of the night, continues to roll on. Sitting on pole, one of the fan favorites, and one of the favorites to win tonight, the 07 of Howard Weaver on point for heat number 2. The 8 of Cole Newhoffen going to start to his outside in row number 1. The 83 of Adam Benefil going to start out of position number 3, and Chris Orencia in that 78 car in the outside of row number 2. The 096, Randy Crowder, going to start out of the 5th position. And to his outside, the 88 of Chad Wheeler. William Dahl in the 40 car going to start in the 7th position. 8th goes to the 421 of Britton Roxbury. 122 of Scotty Watts going to start out of position number 9. And 10th goes to the 212 of Caleb Smith. And pace truck, again, going to go back out for 2 parade laps with the field in tow. So heat number 1 ended up with a huge wreck in turn 1 on lap 1. Of course, no cautions, so those boys going to have to do things the hard way. But heat number 2, let's see if we can't keep it a little cleaner, see if we can't get a little bit more racier out here for this second heat. Howard Weaver going to have command of the field next time by.
Yeah, I want to say heat 1 was a whole big mess up. It was just a lot of these drivers, you know, we do a lot of practice, solo practice, and when we get into the groups, you know, you kind of don't know each other. A lot of these names, you know, we've said a few of them that we're used to, but a lot of these drivers I kind of aren't really familiar with. So it's a lot of new drivers coming in, watching, seeing how the other drivers are reacting, and this is just a product of heat racing, to be honest. You have 8 fast laps to get your job done, do what you need to do, and just get the win, pretty much. So it's definitely going to be interesting. But pace truck is going to come off the track, go onto the berm, go down pit lane, and Howard Weaver goes.
Yep, he's got a good jump on the rest of the field there. Newhoffen has that 83 to his inside, but diving into turn 1, the 8 going to take that high side momentum. Look at Chris Orencia in the 78, got wound up. Oh, the 83 goes around on the backstretch. A lot of contact. Adam, he's turned all the way around. 78 got into him coming out of turn number 2. That's going to pretty much end his chances of taking a heat win. 83 is going to take the tow back to the pit lane. Top 3 now separated by almost 2.5 seconds over that 421 of Britton Roxbury, as heat number 2 has a little bit of the same as heat number 1 had there early on in the going. Lap number 2 just now going into the books with Howard Weaver still out front with a hard charge and Cole Newhoffen right there on his bumper bar.
Cole and Howard been going around. They've been doing they haven't been really testing and building setups exactly, but they definitely drive alike, and they kind of like the same kind of race cars. So this is definitely being interesting. But looking back at Chris and that 78, man, he got a great start from when that whole crash went on. He had that topside rolling and was able to kind of just squeeze by that crash. But right now, those are your top 3 being ready to be transferred.
Rencia, he's got his work cut out for him. Over a second behind our race leader. Newhoff is starting to slip off the pace as well. Almost a half second back from Weaver. Looking back here, maybe a little bit of side-by-side battling with the 096 and the 122. You got Scotty Watts and Randy Crowder back here for 7th and 8th. And then right in front of him as the 122 got passed by Randy Crowder. Right in front of him, Chad Wheeler and the 212 and Caleb Smith were doing battle. Wheeler on the high side keeps the momentum, gets that spot as Weaver comes off of turn number 4. We have 2 laps to run here in heat number 2.
See how the track's already handling. Not a lot of drivers are taking that lower side, kind of taking that middle to high side. But, you know, when we come around here, just watch Howard Weaver in his left front tire. It's actually off the ground completely, bouncing the whole car up and down, trying to just keep that much power as he can on that right rear tire. But this is what we're going to see a lot as, ooh, nice little bump in turn 3.
Yeah. Got into the wall on the backstretch, but out of turn number 4, Howard Weaver going to cement his spot in the feature, as well as Cole Newhoffen and Chris Orencia for this sub-feature. Now, the top 12 out of the sub-feature will go on to race in the big money race later on tonight. So, Heat 2 in the books. The remainder of that field, Britton Roxbury, Chad Wheeler, Caleb Smith, Randy Crowder, Scotty Watts, William Dahl, and Adam I can't say his last name, save my life. Beneful in that 10th spot. Heat number 3 getting set to go to the grid, and they're getting a lot faster, getting organized there on pit lane here. So things are going to start rolling along pretty smooth here. Drew Hirchko in that 27 car. He's going to lead the field to the green flag after our 2 parade laps coming up here. Ian Blanchard in that 2 car going to start to the outside in position number 2. The 37 of Randall Carter. We've seen him week in and week out in a couple of series that we call. He's going to start in 3rd. And 4th goes to the 222 of Eric Fargo. 08 of Tyler Ducharme going to start out of the 5th position. And in 6th, the 95 of Jesse Carr. The 05 of Stephen Bordeaux going to start out of the 7th position. And in 8th, to his outside, the 66 of Jonathan Aldridge. Greg Caldara in the 119 going to start out of position number 9. And rounding out our 10-car field is going to be a ghost car because he didn't want to qualify. So we're only going to have 9 cars in this heat server. And Pace Truck going to lead him around for a mile worth of parade lap. And so far, so good. 2 for 2. Good racing. Lap 1 incidents. Let's see if we can break that streak and have a couple of more competitors there towards the end of the race. Of course, with only 8 laps, there's not a lot of time to do a lot of damage. So these drivers got to get in where they can fit in and got to get as far front as they possibly can. Of course, the battle is going to be on for that final transfer spot right now. Randall Carter has it on the grid. Can he maintain it? Can he get the win? Or will something happen here to that driver or any of these drivers and knock them out of the big money race later on tonight?
Most definitely Randall Carter right now in that 3rd. You know, those top 3 boys, actually, currently all those drivers out here are super fast, just so fast. But you know, all these cautions been happening between that 2nd, 3rd row. So it's gonna be interesting if Carter and Fargo can go around and just get that good clean start. Pace Truck's down and away, and we are keep racing for number 3.
Yep, Drew Hertzko down and away really quick as soon as that truck made a turn down to the pit lane. Randall Carter up to position number 2nd. Blanchard a little slow on this start. Goes back to position number 3. Got a car in the wall towards the back. Eric Fargo going to drop way back in the pack, but everybody's still clean, still gets around him. Now the 08 and the 05 battling for that 4th position, or that 95. No, it is the 05 of Stephen Bordeaux. Bordeaux on the inside in the black and orange machine, the red and white machine of the 08 to the outside. The battle is on for 2nd right in front of him as well. Ian Blanchard is caught up to Randall Carter. Carter on the outside. Blanchard on the inside in that number 2 car. He's going to have to back off. Here comes Tyler Ducharme. He was shooting for the gap. Blanchard slams the door on him, maintains that 3rd spot.
Going on board. Oh, that Tyler's up in the wall, slamming it hard in that 08. Out of exit number 2. Go around, lost a lot of time for that transfer spot, but that battle for transfer spot is still going on with Steven and Ian.
Yeah, Ian making that high side look good right now. Bordeaux definitely going to have to think about changing his line. Maybe he doesn't have a high line setup underneath that 05 machine. Ducharme tearing down the wall back there. Still, that's going to pretty much put him into the B or C main as he's having a hard time maintaining control of that 08 car. The 2 just pulling away for the 05 for that final transfer spot just at halfway. When we come to the line, Drew Hertzko is only going to have 3 laps to claim a heat win and a spot in the sub feature.
Going on board with Randall Carter in that number 37 on the OCTV onboard cam. Just go around, just take a lap around how these drivers are taking this track. You know, they were taking that low side during practice, and now they've all migrated to the top, but that bottom still has a little bit of grip still.
All right, well, Drew Hertzko making his way through 3 and 4. Definitely the dominant car in this heat. Over a 2nd lead. White flag at the flag stand for that 27 car. He's got 4 more corners to make to lock his place into the sub feature. Randall Carter still in 2nd. Ian Blanchard commandingly in 3rd. As long as all 3 of these drivers don't make any mistakes here, and it doesn't look like they're going to submit their place in the sub feature as they're crashing behind him for 4th, 5th, and 6th. But Drew Hertzko, Randall Carter, and Ian Blanchard stamped their ticket. And Tyler Ducharme brings it home in 4th. 5th goes to Stephen Bordeaux. Eric Fargo in 6th. Jesse Carr in 7th. Ooh, come back here, iRacing. Greg Caldara in 8th. And Jonathan Aldridge round out your 9-car field for heat number 3. Heat 4 about to take the grid in just a few short seconds. All right, so it looks like the grid is here. 9 cars once again for heat number 4. Garrett Newbergy going to start out of position number 1. The 007 Jacob Fields going to be on the outside of row number 1. Then you had the 04 Chase Cabray starting in that 3rd position. And to his outside, the 55 of Jordan Wesley in 4th. Then you had the 23 of Justin Thomas and Corey Ward in the 48 in row number 3. 9 car of Jeremy Elliott going to start out of position number 7. Justin Howard, no relation, in the 28 car in 8th. And Ronnie Wainscott going to bring up the rear here in heat number 4 out of the 9th position in that 03 car. So one more pace lap, and then we'll set these boys loose for another 8 laps for this, this 4th heat on the evening.
Yeah, last 2 heats we've all had. Heat 1 and Heat 2 had that incident in turn 1, lap 1. Heat 3 did not have that. Just a little bit of contact, but we're dirt racing. We're supposed to be doing a little bit of bumping, so it's going to be interesting seeing how these drivers are handling. But the thing about starting in this 4th heat or 5th heat is that you can watch how the track changes from Heat 1 to Heat 2 and kind of plan out what you're going to do. But Pace Truck comes off the track, goes up on the berm, and we are green flag racing for heat number 4.
Yeah, Jacob Fields, no sleeper there. He got a great jump on Newbergy. Newbergy's going to have the lead into turn number 1. Jordan Wesley going to take over that 3rd and final transfer spot for that 04 Chase Cabray. Cabray battling back to the inside and to take that slide job line from that 04. The 55 crosses him back over. Let's see if they can come out of here clean. They do. Cabray back up to 3rd as lap number 1 is in the books. Jordan Wesley in that 55 car, the all black car right behind that white car with the red lettering of Chase Cabray. There's our top 4 single file, actually top 6, 7. Everybody is single file following the leader on that high side.
Yeah, that high side is just definitely getting that pull that the drivers like. But it's definitely interesting watching some of these drivers because they kind of enter in different locations into the corner, and then they all take that high side around to exit. But ooh, that was, I think that was Elliott right there. That was caught on the corner of your screen, taking that, going over the cushion, right on top of it, and way out of the groove. And that, right now he's sitting in 6th.
Yeah, Wesley falling back a tremendous amount. The 23 going to put a slide job on Wesley. That's Justin Thomas. Wesley's going to cross him over, give him enough room there, but they do down the front straightaway. Returns the favor, does Wesley to Thomas. Thomas now trying to cross over that 55, but is not going to be able to get there. Throws another slide job on that 55 car. Can he squeeze in? He does. 55 back to crossover. Slide job city here at Knoxville. Oh, they get into each other, touch into the turn. Both cars still pointing in the right direction, but that definitely upset that 55 and 23 car. Jacob Fields, though, he's catching up to Newbergy as the laps are winding down. 2 laps to go. Still that battle is on for that 4th position. Too bad it's not a transfer spot right now because those boys are throwing down, elbows up, and putting on a great show for us here.
Yeah, this is just a position for one of the I believe this is gonna be the position for the B main, I believe. So this is just who can get that better starting position. But man, these boys are having a hard time. Oh, as he slides it in hard.
And that he does. White flag is out. Wesley gonna prevail here. But Garrett Newbergy in that 19 car, he just got the slider for Fields. Fields is gonna take the victory here. Oh my! Last lap slider, last corner, last ditch effort. Fields makes it pay off at that 007. He said, "My name is Bond." James Bond takes the heat win there. Garrett Newbergy and Chase Cabray going to advance to the sub-feature. Jordan Wesley, Jeremy Elliott, Justin Thomas, Corey Ward, Justin Howard, and Ronnie Wainscott. Your remainder of that result for heat number 4. Good Lord, that was an amazing move. An amazing move that Fields did. Big, huge props goes out to that driver of the 007. All right, grid for heat number 5 is up on your screen on the left-hand side. Dan Smolders in the 99 car going to start out of position number 1. Jared Crumrine in the 33 car going to start in that second spot. Lewis Hewitt in the 3 car going to roll off in 3rd. And Zach Leonardi in the 24 car is going to start out of the 4th position. 5th goes to the 16 of Jeffrey Mays. Tommy Rowe in the 38 car out of position number 6. 7th goes to Adam Bush in the 26 car. Cole Lonergan in the 45 car going to start out of 8th. And Jonathan Smith in the 31 car going to start out of position number 9. So another heat race in the books. Another 8 laps going to be put on the board for heat number 5 here. The final heat of the night. And it looks like we're going to get a D main as well. So the racing is going to keep going. And let's hope that heat number 4 is going to dictate what's going to happen here for the rest of the evening, because that was just an amazing race there, guys.
Yeah, it's most definitely a great race right there. There was always discussion that Knoxville Canning will be a great track here in iRacing no matter what changes they do, and right there shows it that bottom lane still has some grip. We still has that slide job feature and feeling, but Pace Truck comes off the track one more time for the heat races, and we are green flag racing.
And Dan Smolders gets a great jump on the rest of the field there. The 3 car into 33. Battling for that second position. Lewis Hewitt going to take over that spot at 33. Look how far that left front comes off the ground. Oh, they touched. Oh, no. Oh, the 33 goes around. The 3 wall riding going to go all the way to the back of the pack. Jared Crumrine, he's going to have to do it the hard way through the D, C, and B main. But it's just a cluster back here.
Cole in that 41 just did a beautiful head-on collision with the turn 1 wall. Don't know how that car is still going without that engine being blown, but as he falls way back, Lewis Hewitt is sitting in 8th, not be able to advance to the feature, but oh my.
Yeah, Dan Smolders loving it right now. He's got over a second advantage over the 16 of Jeffrey Mays. Right now, Adam Bush sitting in that transfer spot. But Tommy Rowe, he's looking to race his way in that 38 car. He was just side by side with that 26 just a second ago. But now he's got to re-rack, get his mind back right, and put together another charge as he's trying to run that middle lane. I mean, he can run it, but he's just not gaining any time on that 26 car. That's the battle on for our 3rd and final transfer spot. Rowe down to the inside, Bush on the high side, and coming off of turn number 2, Bush is going to pull away by about a good 4 car lengths over that 38 car.
Adam Bush in that 26, he is just taking that cushion and using it to his advantage, just getting that beautiful run off, and just can't really get the runoff by Tommy Rowe in that bottom lane, but as Tommy Rowe is going to take that higher side, maybe kind of use that cushion to his advantage now, but we got 2 laps to go, and I just don't see Tommy Rowe catching up to Adam.
No, I don't either. Dan Smolders, though, I mean, he's going to cement that place here as long as he can keep that car pointing in the right direction with 1 lap to go. White flag out in the air for that 99 car. Jeffrey Mays and Adam Bush, your top 3. Tommy, he's trying to put something together, but he's just not going to be able to get there. So Dan Smolders now coming out of turn number 4, going to take the checkered flag for heat race number 5. Jeffrey Mays and Adam Bush transfer to the sub feature. Tommy Rowe, Jared Crumrine, Jonathan Smith, Cole Lonergan, and actually Adam Bush was black flagged. So actually Tommy Rowe is going to get that last transfer spot. So big development there. I believe Bush may have caused an incident, but we have 9 cars on the grid for our C main. Now it's 10 laps to run here, and it's just going to get better and better here. Ford will transfer to the sub feature, excuse me. from the, well, 4 will transfer to C main, and then out of the B main, 4 will transfer to, out of the C main, 4 will transfer to the B main, and then from the B main, 8 will go to the feature here.
A lot of drivers, a lot of positions still to go. D feature racing right here as Wes will go over your grid.
All right, Justin Howard in the 28 car going to start out of position number 1. The 3 car of Lewis Hewitt out of position number 2. The 98 of Ryan Keller going to start in 3rd, and William Dahl, the 40 car, going to start in 4th. Jonathan Aldridge in the 66 going to start in the 5th spot. Ronnie Wayne Scott in the 03 starts out of position number 6. 7th goes to the 24 of Zach Leonardi. The 60 of Brandon Boyd is going to roll off out of 8th. Adam Benefell in the 83 car going to make up our 9 car field for this D main. And as I said, 4 will transfer to the C main out of here. So not a lot of spots, but let's see if anybody can come from this D main and make it to the sub feature here tonight.
This is definitely going to be interesting. I don't think I've ever seen a D feature, a C feature, and a B feature all in one server. So this is just going to be a lot of fun watching and just seeing how the track goes. You know, right now the track is very well used from the bottom all the way up to the top. Super blue grooved. Not a lot of room in the middle of the corners to try to find that fresh, loose, fun dirt. But it's definitely going to be interesting how these drivers handle it and advance. But Pace Truck is going to come off the racing track this time by going up on the berm. Welcome to D Feature Racing. And we are going to go... we're going to go now!
Yeah, Justin Howard wanted to wait until the green flag absolutely came out. That's going to give Lewis Hewitt the advantage here. He's going to take that 3 car to the point out of turn number 2. The 28, Justin Howard, now back to the 2nd position. The 40 car, the white and orange machine of William Dahl, up to 3rd, but not for too long. Ryan Keller in that 98 on the bottom. Oh, they touch on the front stretch. 98 goes all the way to the bottom of the racetrack. The 40 running in the middle, almost to the inside of that 28 car. But now those top 4 are the transfers. The 83 trying to get there as well. 3 wide for 2nd. Look at the 83 go by on the high side. The 40 gets around the 28. Not sure what happened there with Justin Howard, but he was way wide and way loose. It doesn't look like anybody's going to get through here. The 83, Adam Benefell, goes up to that 2nd position. The 28, he's loose getting into turn number 3. Keeps it pointed in the right direction, but that's going to put William Dahl and Ryan Keller back into those transfer spots with a hard charge, and Jonathan Aldridge in that 66 car looking to steal one of these transfer spots.
Yeah, Jonathan is really going on, taking that higher side, just getting that beautiful run that 83 of Adam took, but the battle for that P3 is still going on with Ryan and William just trying to get that position, and while they're battling, this is actually, what's saying,
Yep. Yeah, Justin Howard goes around in turn number 2. He had a lot of help from that 28 of Justin Howard. So that's going to take that 66 out of contention. He's all the way back at turn 3 right now. The rest of the field now starting to get into turn number 2. Looks like Justin Howard is going to pull off the racing surface, and that's going to end his night as well. The bottom 4 not going to advance. They're going to have to pack up and go home after this server. Ryan Keller and William Dahl, though, doing some good battling back here for that 3rd position. The 98 back to the bottom of the racetrack. Tries to put a slider on that 40, but to no avail. Not going to be able to do it. The 40 car now with the crossover. Back to the inside goes Dahl. Trying to get back around Keller as they come out of turn 4 to complete lap 7. We got 3 laps to go.
3 laps, and these drivers are going to be doing slide jobs until the checkered. They're going to try to do everything they can to get in, but right now they're already in transfer spots, guys. You don't need to go and get that P3 position because you're going to be going to the C feature, and you got to do the same thing over again. So just advance. As I have the 83 of Adam is no longer on the racetrack.
Uh-oh. might have had some third put, so that's going to put the 60 of Brandon Boyd in a potential transfer spot now. If the 83 doesn't show back up, it does look like he is not going to come back in here. White flag is out for Lewis Hewitt in that 3 car, though. Had some troubles in his heat early on, got up to second, and then ended up getting caught up in a wreck. But he's going to take this D main and win here to transfer to our C main as he's going. He's going into spin cycle. That's impressive, I've got to say. Ryan Keller, William Dahl, and Brandon Boyd all advancing to our C main. Ronnie Wainscott, Jonathan Aldridge, Adam Benefiel, and Justin Howard all going to go home tonight empty-handed.
Can we just say that Lewis Hewitt had a beautiful left front tire?
That was just impressive.
I may have to go back and take a screenshot of that. That might be a new background.
Hey, that'll work. Well, 14 cars getting ready to do battle here at the Knoxville Raceway, this half mile here in Knoxville, Iowa, getting set to see who the top 4 will be in here, who will make their way to the B main. 15 laps are put on the board. So another longer race than anybody has run here so far tonight. Justin Thomas in that 23 car going to start on the pole. Alongside him is going to be that 45 of Cole Lonergan. It takes me like 2 seconds to say that name. I'm sorry. The 101, Bryson Curry, going to start out of position number 3. And to his outside in row number 2, the 096 of Randy Crowder. 95 of Jesse Carr going to start out of the 5th position. 6 goes to the 48 of Corey Ward. Adam Bush in the 26 car starts out of 7th. And in 8th, the 86 of John Littoral. Scotty Watts in the 122 car going to start out of position number 9. And rounding out our top 10 is going to be the 119 of Greg Caldara. Lewis Hewitt, our D-main winner, going to start out of position number 11. Ryan Keller in the 98 out of 12. 40 of William Dahl, 13th. And Brandon Boyd bringing up the rear of the field in that 14th starting position. And, I mean, we saw it all throughout the heat races. These are a lot of the guys who ended up getting into a lot of those incidents early on in the first couple of heat races. So they really don't know what they have, coming into this race. So they're going to have to figure out what they have underneath these super late model, what's underneath their seat here, and get to go and figure out where the line is, where the groove is, and get up to the front. Lewis Hewitt going to try and do it the hard way here. He's got a good shot starting out of position number 11, but he's got to pass 4 rows of cars as he's 9th on the grid, or on the racetrack right now. So he's going to have a hard time getting through this field. Pace truck is going to come off for this C main. Down and away is Justin Thomas. Green flag is out at 45. He smacked the outside retaining wall, getting into turn number 1. The 101 on the bottom, trying to get that second position, is not going to be able to get there. The 45 goes back up to second. The 95, Jesse Carr, now on the inside of the racetrack, is going to get passed by that 101 on the outside. So your top 4 right now, not really under fire from anybody but John Littoral in that 86 car. He's got that the 096 all over his back bumper, gets him loose. The 48's going to squeak by. That's Corey Ward.
Yeah, Corey did a great job passing, but John Little and Randall Carter are just going around. They were doing a lot of bumping back and forth, but now Randall Carter's battling Ryan Keller in that 98, but in front of him is your battle for the 4th place position, which is with that 101 of Bryson and that 48 of Corey.
Yeah, Corey Ward in that 48 car. On the high side, the 101 trying to make that bottom side work. Not going to be able to do it. The 45 of Lonergan still in that 3rd position. Here comes the 48. He's closing in, closing that gap. Almost hopped the cushion there. Actually does on the exit of 4. The Corey Ward going to have to get that thing back underneath of him. As we are on lap number 5 of the 15 scheduled. We have 11 laps remaining. Here, Justin Thomas still out front by almost 0.8 of a second over that 95 of Jesse Carr. And pretty much it's single file throughout the rest of the field now. That 48 car, though. Oh, he's coming in a hurry. Gets into the back of the 101. The 101. He's sideways into turn number 1. The 48's got to check up.
Oh, no.
He dumps him. 48 goes around Ward and Curry. Falling back like a rock. Ryan Keller out of the D main up into a transfer spot.
Someone that's having a terrible night and that's not going to advance is that number 3 of Lewis Hewitt, looking with him right now, as his car is completely destroyed and will not advance to your B main. Tough night for Howard because of Lewis. Oh, my apologies.
Ooh. 86 gets into the 40 of William Dahl there on the front stretch. Takes over that 5th spot. That was a little battle for position there. Dahl was a little slow coming out of turn number 4 last time around, so literal up to 5th. Now he sets his sights on Ryan Keller. Of course, William Dahl was also out of that D main that we just saw a couple of minutes ago. He's made his way up to 6th, was riding in 5th there until literal got around him. But now Jesse Carr, he's starting to reel in our race leader. The battle is going to be on here pretty soon. The 23 car, he's got a lot of pressure getting ready to come up to that back bumper bar. Jesse Carr and that 95 tracking our leader.
On board with Jesse on the OCTV gyro cam, watching him. Jesse tracks down the leader, goes down on the very bottom of the track, trying to get everything he can get by him.
Yeah, but he can't do it right now. He wasn't close enough to pull off the slide job. Now back to the bottom goes that 95 car, trying to ride that berm and get as close as he can to that inside berm. Loses about a car length on the exchange. The 23 car still high side and handsome up there. And Justin Thomas going to maintain that race lead at the stripe. We're going to have 3 laps to go. 95 riding that berm, making up some ground. 23 just has so much momentum coming off that high side that 95, he can't really get a run on him. He's going to have to change that line back up, see if he can't get back to that outside. He might be trying to set him up for a slider here on the last lap like we saw with the 007 of Jacob Fields getting around for that heat win. The 23, Justin Thomas still out front as we have 2 laps to run.
As Carr is trying to do everything he can to catch up to Justin, just as it's, woo, he's taking that burn way high. I know the update went around in this last build, went around and made these cars a lot more happier, but I don't know if riding the berm that much will make these cars that much better. But white flags out in the air one last time as he is on the bumper of Justin. I don't know if he's going to make that pass, though.
No, he's not going to do it. Justin comes down to block the slider line and does it to perfection. Going to win the B main, or the C main here. Transfer over. Jesse Carr, Ryan Keller, and Cole Lonergan all going to advance. John Literal, William Dahl, Randy Crowder, Lewis Hewitt, Greg Caldara, Corey Ward, Brandon Boyd, Bryson Curry, Scotty Watts, and Adam Bush going to go home empty-handed here tonight as the B main is set to take to the grid. We have 17 cars lined up for 8 positions with a 20-lap race here. So our business has been picking up throughout the night. The D main, a great race. The C main, another great race. Now the B main is on the grid. Colin Schlitt going to start in that 91 car on the pole. Britton Roxbury in the 421 going to start out of position number 2. Tyler Ducharme in the 08 car going to roll off in that 3rd position alongside Jordan Wesley in the 55 in 4th. 33 of Jared Crumrine going to start out of position number 5. 6 goes to the 228 of Cole Cabre. The 88 of Chad Wheeler going to start out of 7th. And 8th goes to the 05 of Stephen Bordeaux. Jeremy Elliott in the 9 car going to start in position number 9. And rounding out our top 10 is going to be the 31 of Jonathan Smith. The 51 of Kyle Beck going to start in 11th, and 12th goes to the 212 of Caleb Smith. Eric Fargo in the 222 going to start out of position number 13. And our C main winner, Justin Thomas, going to start in 14th. A little bit of contact between the 55 and the 08 there on the warm-up lap. Ryan Keller in the 98 going to start out of 15th. 16th goes to Cole Lonergan in the 45. And Jeffrey Mays Actually, Cole Lonergan is going to start out of 17th. I missed somebody. I think it was Jesse Carr in 15th. I'm sorry about that, bud. So one more parade lap. Then we set these boys loose for 20 laps. Top 8 will make the sub feature, and then we're going to take the top 12 cars from that to the feature server here. Coming up, going to be presented to you by RaceBot on their Facebook and or their YouTube and iRacing Live. So here we go. Pace truck set to pull off of the racing surface. Colin Schlitt in the 91 car, ready to get this underway. He's going to slow the field up a little bit. Green flag is out in the air. He gets on the gas. Green flag. He slides up in front of the 421 of Britton Roxbury as they head off into turn number 1 for the first time. He's way wide. Britton Roxbury gets into him. The 55 of Wesley goes around. No caution is going to come out here. These are B-main races. No cautions for these. So Jordan Wesley's chances of advancing have just flown out the window. The 91 really slow into turn number 1 that time around.
Yeah, that's a lot of collision right there. It'll be interesting to see what goes on with the up in the admin tower, what they're discussing, but that was a lot of contact, a lot of battling, but that 91 is just having a hard time getting around turn 1 and 2. You lose a lot of time in 1 and 2, and then just has a hard time in 3 and 4, but looking a little bit farther back, Chad Wheeler in that 88, he's right on the bumper of that number. I believe that's the 421 of Boxberry, as we are 3 wide for that P5.
Yeah, Wheeler in the middle, Bordeaux on the inside. Oh, Wheeler gets turned by the 222 of Fargo. Fargo puts him into the wall. Wheeler is turtled on in turn number 3, so that's going to end his race and his night. What a shame for the driver of that 88 car. Tyler Ducharme up to the point now in that 08 after the exchange there between the 91 and the rest of the field pretty much. Britton Roxbury has gotten around him now, and Cole Cabray in the 228 looking to get around the 91 as well. They're beating and banging, coming down the front stretch. 91 to the inside. He's just got that car set up way too loose.
Yeah, that car is super loose. He's over-rotating that machine so much, having just a hard time. I'm actually kind of surprised that he's able to keep that car in that P5 position, but he's definitely just having a terrible night right now. I mean, he needs to tighten that car up a lot, try to make that car rotate a little bit better, and not just get underneath him as he drops another position to that 05 of Steven. But he's having that's a rough night, especially when you come into these races with so much good hope and whatnot, and you come out just with a hard setup. I don't think a lot of these drivers were expecting the track to change as much as it has, and it's just hard. But looking a little bit farther back in the pack, as we are 3 wide for P7.
Yeah, this track is definitely tore up from the floor up to 33 of Jared Crumrine. On the outside there, our C-main winner in the 23 car of Justin Thomas, trying to get around him for that 6th position. And no avail. Not going to be able to get there, as we're going to hit halfway next time by here in our B-main. 33-23 to 95. That's Jesse Carr trying to get there as well. He advanced from the B-main as well as that 93 car. There goes Jesse to the inside, and Justin Thomas going to slide up in front of him. Good slider out of that 95 machine.
Jesse Carr, he's having a really good night, having to work all throughout the whole, pretty much all the races so far. So he's been on the track probably one of the longest, but he's definitely has found a way to get that car to rotate kind of in the middle of the track and pull away.
Yeah, he definitely has. Good to see Colin being able to get command of that car. He's trying to chase down Bordeaux. I mean, he's lost a ton of time to that 05. That is the transfer spot where that 05 is sitting in. Actually, all of them are sitting in transfer spots. So back here in 8th, Jesse Carr and Ryan Keller. And that 23 of Justin Thomas now. That's the battle for the last transfer to the sub-feature. Coming up next after this race, Going to complete lap 13. Going to have 7 left on the board. The 33 of Crumrine, way loose in front of the 95 car. He throws it into the wall again. Crumrine just mangles that car up. Loses 3 spots on the exchange. Going to put him all the way back to 9th. So now, pretty much everybody except for Lonergan, who transferred out of the C main, is in a spot to make it to the sub feature.
Yeah, that's just amazing. That's, you know, all because they didn't advance through their heat doesn't mean that they're out of the show. And which is just one of the greatest factors that we have here in iRacing, is that we have this heat format. You know, it's unfortunate that Lewis Hewitt in that number 3 couldn't advance, but, you know, look at Justin, what did his name go? Justin Carr in that number 95. He was from the C and now in the B, and I believe it was even the D, battling his way up through the field, and was able to go in, and now I'm going to go into the sub feature. So he's having, you know, he might not be happy that he had to do all those races, but he's been on the track the most, and he should be very happy that he's going to be able to go in and get a shot on going into the main event and getting some extra cash in his pocket.
And you know, somebody who is kicking himself in the pants right now is that 33 of Crumrine. I had a transfer spot, was looking pretty good, pulling away from that pack that is still battling there, that 98 and that 23 car. And now just 1 spot out of a transfer here with 2 laps to go. Tyler Ducharme, he is getting caught by Britton Roxbury. Roxbury, that's the battle for the race lead now. That 08 and the 421, Britton Roxbury coming on as of late. Both riding that cushion on the high side on the entry into 1. Ducharme has the advantage. White flag is out. 2 more corners to go. Can Roxbury get
no! Oh no!
Roxbury,
Help him! Help him!
Roxbury goes up to the point. Checkered flag for that 421. Not sure if that's going to stand from an admin's point of view. But both of them riding the berm. Roxbury takes out the 08 of Tyler Ducharme. So not sure if he's going to get that. So Crumrine may be in the catbird seat now.
Yeah, that's I don't know how that's gonna line up with the admins, but in the good way, if you look at it, at least he straightened him out, and they did not lose, and they're both still advancing to the feature if it stands. But wow.
Well, actually, what might happen is the 421 might get an EOL. There's going to be a 5-minute warm-up here for the drivers to put in some final adjustments, as it looks like the track is still as tore up as it has been all night. This is going to put... Actually, no. The track has been worked on, air quotes. So all of the slick is gone. Track is going to be extremely tacky for this 30-lap feature. So the guys going to have to readjust their cars back to a looser state, if you will. But hopefully they don't get it too loose to take themselves out of this top 12. It only looks like 23 are advancing into the feature, so I'm not sure what's going on here. I guess the math really didn't add up. You're taking, what, 15 and 8? So I guess the math just didn't add up for the format here. Wow. That was just insane there.
Yeah, that was most definitely a, you know, we Heat 1 and Heat 2 had that first lap caution in turn 1. Heat 3, 4, and 5 had some great sliders going to the D, just great battling around, and then that B, I don't think you or I, Wes, were expecting that kind of racing in that B main.
No, not at all. I mean, you know, they had to make that top 8. The battle for the lead was on. They wanted the all of the what's the word I'm looking for? All the prestige that comes with a VLR heat win, because they're not easy to win, ladies and gentlemen. We call them week in and week out. It is not an easy thing to do. So trying to get a heat win especially for like oh, what's his face? Ducharme. First time we've seen him out here. I've raced with him before in the past. The warm-up has advanced, so we are getting set to go into feature racing. The grid will be on your screen in just a couple of seconds, but I mean, you know, this is not an easy league to get into or to win anything, to be honest with you. All right, here is your starting grid for tonight's sub-feature. Reminder, top 12 will advance to the big money race. After this race ends, we're out of here. You can go find the big money race on RaceSpot and on iRacing Live. Alex Bergeron going to start off the pole here after winning his heat. Howard Weaver as well, a heat winner earlier on tonight, going to start out of position number 2. That's teammates on the front row there. Drew Hertzko in the 27 car going to start to the inside of row 2, and to his outside, the 007 of Jacob Fields. Dan Smolders, winner of heat number 5, going to start out of position number 5. And John Fiddler, the 02 car, going to start in 6th. 7th goes to the 8 of Cole Newhoffen. And to his outside is going to be the 37 of Randall Carter. Garrett Nabergi in the 19 car going to start out of position number 9. And 10th goes to the 16 of Jeffrey Mays. Brad Dyer in the 56 car going to roll out of the 11th position. And 12th goes to 78 of Chris Orencia. Ian Blanchard going to start out of 13th. And 14th goes to the 04 of Chase Cabray. Tommy Rowe in the 38 car going to start out of position number 14. And 15. Or actually, that is 15. Tommy Rowe, excuse me. I skipped somebody somewhere. Britton Roxbury, the 421 car, going to start out of position number 16. 17th goes to Tyler Ducharme. Cole Cabray in the 228, going to start out of 18th. 19th goes to the 05 of Stephen Bordeaux, the 95 of Jesse Carr, and 20th. The 21st position goes to the 91 of Colin Schlitt. Justin Thomas in the 23 in 21st. 22nd, Ryan Keller. Or 22nd was Justin Thomas, and Ryan Keller in that 23rd position. And here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Green flag about to drop here for our sub-feature. Top 12 advance to the big money race. Alex Bergeron down and away. Green flag out here at Knoxville. 30 laps on the board. He gets a great jump over Howard Weaver. Drew Hertzko and Jacob Fields now battling side by side for that third position. The 02 got a little bit of contact from behind as caution comes out for the first time tonight early on here in turn number 3. Looking for the culprits. It might have been the 23. Actually, yeah, it looks like the 38 got it to the 08, came at the track. 23 finished out the job. The 98 involved as well. And the 228 of Cole Cabray goes around on the backstretch. So caution out here early for the start of this sub-feature.
Taking a look back at what happened here, it just seems like it was just a lot of checking up in front of them. You know, the hardest thing in these late models is that you can't really see in front of you all that much. Your view is kind of limited on what you can and cannot see, so it's most likely a very harder when you're in the back half of the field, and plus you have all the dust in there, you have everything flying, so it's just a very hard to see in that back half, and just a few drivers got spun around.
Well, the good thing about the dirt side of things, we only have 3 laps of caution. That's only going to take us to lap number 4 on the board. Should get the lights off the pace truck this time by line them back up 2 by 2. Only real position to exchange in the top 5. Jacob Fields up to 3rd from 4th, and back from 3rd to 4th is that 27 of Drew Hertzko. Lights are off the pace truck. One more time around. We're going to set them back free here. Going to have 26 laps to go when we take the green flag. And Alex Bergeron looking pretty stout early on here.
Yeah, Alex and Weaver are both looking very good, but you know, I'm gonna be kind of watching that second and third row. Those group 4 guys showed how strong their cars were when we in their heat, so it's definitely be interesting. But Pace Truck is gonna come off the racetrack, go up on the berm, and we are back. Green flag racing.
Bergeron gets a good jump on Howard Weaver, going to slide up in front of him as they enter into turn 1 here. Everybody going to the bottom of the racetrack. Sands the 27 and the 02. Now Fields in the 007 going to squeeze back up into his 3rd position. The 02 going to back off there. Dan Smolders gets a little contact from Nabergi. Nabergi's going to fall back. Smolders going to keep on going in that 99 car. He's got Randall Carter now to his outside in that 37. As we just completed lap 5, we got 25 left on the board. Still side by side. Heading down the backstretch is that 99 and that 37. 37 still on the high side. Remembering how it was in his heat. It's not working here for him right now. Smolder's going to clear him off the corner.
Yeah, a lot of these drivers kind of went out and took this track at a different state. You know, some of them had that cushion come in on that top side. Some of them didn't have any blue groove, and that bottom wasn't worn in at all. So we did have that 5-minute warm-up, but a lot of these drivers are kind of not used to how the track is.
Yeah, not at all, but you can definitely tell who can adapt to any situation, no matter what state the track is. Weaver still on that back bumper bar. Bergeron going to pull about a car length advantage on him right now. He's going to the top side of the track. Weaver now riding that bottom. The battle is on for the race lead. This will dictate who's going to start on the pole or who's going to start in 3rd for the big money race coming up here right after this one. And they're side by side drag racing down the front stretch at the line. Give it to Bergeron by 18 one-thousandths of a second. Weaver pulling ahead of Bergeron ever so slightly coming out of the turn. Bergeron needs to get back to that bottom if he can. Weaver's going to pull this off and take the race lead. And there he goes. He gets it going into 1 that time. The 07 now to the point.
Weaver and Alex are these are why these two drivers are the best in iRacing when it does come to the late models. They know each other so well. They know how to race with each other. They've had over many years of experience on different games and sims out there. So they know how to race each other. This is just two long-term friends knowing what to do, knowing how to race with each other. And thankfully, the bottom is still coming in for Weaver. But I think in a few more laps, Alex might be able to get that run, as we see right there in turn 3 and 4.
Yeah, but I'm thinking they're going to have some company here. Drew Hertzko, that 27, on rails right now. Caught up to our 2 leaders. Bergeron takes back the race lead. Weaver all over the berm in the entrance to 3 as they're coming off of turn number 4. Bergeron still has that race lead. But Hertzko starting to follow in the tire tracks of that 12-car Bergeron. He's trying to get there to Weaver. Actually, he's there now. So the battle is on for second. Meanwhile, the caution does end up coming out as the racing was starting to they were just starting to throw down. Looking for the culprit here. Don't see. May have been the 95 went around. Not 100% sure. Yeah, the 95 and the 56 ended up getting into each other. That's Brad Dyer and Jesse Carr. And looks like Dyer was just trying to keep out of the 78 of Valencia as he came down the track as he was getting into Ducharme. But to no avail, the caution will come out with the 95 going around, coming out of turn number 2.
Yeah, that's very unfortunate for Carr. He went around and drove all the way from his heat, had to go around to the D, to the C, to the B, and now he's up in the sub-feature, and now I'm sitting in 21st. Gonna be a very hard night if he can catch up to that final transfer spot. But he has a lot of cars to go through, and what a heartbreak night for him. You know, he was doing just so well, showing how strong he's been, and now that just happened.
Yeah, right now, real life K&N West driver Chase Cabray in that 04 car, he is sitting in that transfer spot, the final spot to go to the big money race. Means his work is really cut out for him if he does maintain that 12th position. So Orencia just right outside of that. He was battling with Ducharme when that caution came out. We're lined back up 2 by 2. Getting set to go back to green flag racing. Going to have 17 down, 23 laps to run. And Bergeron still out front with Howard Weaver to his outside in that 07. Drew Hertzko, John Filler, and Jacob Fields, your top 5 Pace truck's got him rolling through turns 3 and 4 this time. He's going to come to the safety of pit lane. Alex Bergeron gets on the gas. Green flag back out here at Knoxville. Bergeron back to the bottom of the racetrack. Weaver now on that high side. Going to have some momentum coming out of turn number 2 here. The 0-2 of John Fiddler gets around his teammate Drew Herchko. Almost into the back of the 07 of Howard Weaver. Does back off a little bit. Now Herchko going to fall back to that 4th position. Dan Smolders now trying to break up this party here with the 3 teammates. He's in front of that 007 of Jacob Fields. Cole Newhoff and Randall Carter now doing some battling back here for that 7th and 8th position. Randall Carter still on the bottom of the racetrack. Cole Newhoff to the high side, following in the tire tracks of that 007 is the 007 now going to the inside of Dan Smolders here. Smolders pinches him down to the bottom of the racetrack, going to keep that 5th spot, but they're going to drag race down the front stretch, and Smolders going to maintain that spot.
Jacob Fields is doing everything in his power to get by him. He wants to be with his teammates. He knows he can give to his teammates. It's so hard to get this track going because it's still kind of one lane-ish. Really not a lot of work going on, but look in the far back with Garrett Nabergi, Jeffrey Mays, and Randall Carter all kind of in a gaggle right behind him as well. Chase and Tyler, I don't do last names, are all kind of in a big gaggle all together, kind of just battling with each other, trying to get that final transfer spot.
Well, right now, that 08, he's got it. He's to the inside of Cabrera. Orencia almost gets it to it. Orencia's loose into the outside, retaining while Blanchard now to the inside of that 72. But Orencia is going to maintain that 13th position. He's the first one out right now. Ducharme pulling away after that little exchange between the 78 and the wall. Jeffrey Mays now loose in front of him. Cabrera almost into the left-hand side of that 16 car. Is going to put a slider on Mays. Orencia into the wall behind him, almost into other cars. He's very loose back here in that HRE Motorsports machine. And he lost a ton of time. The 228 of Cole Cabrera almost into that 23 of Justin Thomas right in front of him. But the battle is on for the race lead. Weaver to the inside. Bergeron on the high side. Here, completing lap 25. We have 15 laps to go. Bergeron gets that high side working for that 12 car, hustles back to the point. Weaver tucks back in second. Oh, shoot. It's only 30 laps. Caution's going to come out. That's going to do it. That's going to end the race. Who wrecked?
It looks like Orencia is slow on the front straightaway. Going to take a replay to see what happened.
It started a little bit in front of him. Looks like the 23 car, after making it all the way from the D main, ends up getting into the side of Brad Dyer. And that's pretty much going to do everything but in the race here. As Alex Bergeron looks like he's going to start on the pole for the feature here. $3,300 in purse winnings to be handed out later on tonight. Alex Bergeron only has 2 laps to take that checkered flag. Unfortunately, the race is going to end under caution. It looks like the lights did not come off of the pace car that time around, so that is going to do it for this race, folks. So 12th, Tyler Ducharme makes his way into the big money race. Let's see, this Bergeron, Weaver, Fiddler, Herchko, Smolders are top 5. I'm going to go through the rest of them as soon as the checkered flag flies. So as long as everybody has enough fuel in the tank to make it one more parade lap, which they should, everybody here is in the top 12 going to advance to the big server here in just a few moments.
White flag out. Alex definitely has plenty of fuel. Alex usually goes around and has that little under half gallon that we always see has, but as he's going to go around and take it. But looking from 12th on back, some drivers that will not advance the 56 of Brad Dyer, Jesse Carr in that 95, Tommy Rowe in the 36, Ryan Keller in that 89, Justin Thomas in the 23, and of course Chris Arencia will not be advancing either. Those drivers all had a very fun and fast night and will not be advancing to the to the main feature. But checker flag is out. We got congratulations bumps all around the track, and these drivers are going to be going for some money.
Yes, they are. Everybody out here acting like everything is over. They still got another feature server to go through. Bergeron doing some donuts. He's happy there in that 12 car. Newhoffen was trying to give him a little bit of love, but Bergeron going to take home the win here. Howard Weaver finishes in second. John Fiddler third. Drew Hershko in fourth. Dan Smolders in fifth. Jacob Fields going to finish in the sixth position. Cole Newhoff in seventh. Randall Carter in eighth. Garrett Neuberger in ninth. And Jeffrey Mays rounds out your top 10. Chase Cabre and Tyler Ducharme going to round out the 12 cars who are going to make up the inside row for the feature race. Later on, Britton Roxbury first, one out in 13th. Ian Blanchard, Brad Dyer, Cole Cabre, Jesse Carr, Tommy Rowe, Justin Thomas, Stephen Bordeaux, Ryan Keller, Chris Arencia, Colin Schlitt, and Colin Schlitt is the last driver in the server, or in this race. So all of those boys are going to be packing it up, going on home. Let's see if we can't find at least our race winner. Doesn't have his mic on right now, but let's see if we can't get a word in with the 12 car of Alex Bergeron. Bud, great win tonight. Pretty much flag to flag. You and Weaver started to do a little bit of battling there towards the middle of that server, but you're going to start on the pole for the big money race. What are your plans going into that feature server here in a couple seconds?
It's definitely to stay patient. It's a long race, 100 laps. We'll see where the groove is. Probably the bottom, the top. It's gonna be quite awesome. So looking forward. Just just stay patient, hit my marks, and stay on top.
All right. Well, another congratulations goes out to you, bud. Go ahead, go get focused for this feature. You got any thank yous, any shout outs you want to give before we let you go here?
Yeah, all my sponsor, Flag Norfell, their collective, their car racing, Mar Inc., and Team VLR, and everybody else who put this event on. It's just an amazing event. So thanks to these guys and everybody broadcasting, and we'll see you in the future.
All right, 10-4, bud. We'll see you next Sunday. So go see if you can get that $1,000 there, bud. Good luck to you.
Thank you.
All right, that was the winner of our server, Alex Bergeron. And tell you what, let's talk to the last transfer here as well, and then we're going to go ahead and hand over everything to RaceBot. So the 08, Tyler Ducharme, the last transfer spot, finishing 12th tonight. But you definitely had a tough night in that 08 car.
Yeah, man, that was wild. We did not have a good qualifying lap. I knew it was gonna be tough. Just missed the setup in qualifying, and it was an uphill battle from there. Luckily, we finished decent in the B there to get a halfway decent starting spot in the A there, the qualifier, whatever you want to call it. And car was pretty good. We started driving up through there, and I started racing with the 78, and I got into him like 3 times, and he kept pinching me and pinching me. And one time he got into my door, and he kind of slipped the hill, so I just kind of took the spot. And then they all kind of got bottled up in front of us, and he tried to pass me outside. And I think he came down into me. I don't know really what happened there. But anyways, I hate it for him, but we're in the show, so that's all that matters. And we're gonna go out and try and win this thing from the back. That'd be a story, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, from 23rd to 1st. That would definitely be a story for the ages here. But good luck to you. You got any thank yous and shout-outs you want to give before we let you go get focused for that?
I just got to give a huge shout out to Sim Racing Authority. They I wouldn't be here without them, and Donald Construction and all the guys who are on board with this 08 Chevy. And you guys for doing the broadcast and VLR for putting on this awesome event here. It's always awesome when you got the money involved.
All right. Well, good luck to you. That was the 08 of Tyler Ducharme. And Dylan, I think that's about it for me. Any last words from you before we kick everybody out of here, go to Race Spot?
I just want to say thanks to everyone that came out to watch server number 1. But RaceBot is over on X.CELERATED and on RaceBot and on the iRacing Live, and I believe also on the iRacing main YouTube page also. So if you guys want to watch this main feature and look back on their server, that's where you will go to find that racing. But Wes, let's just say we're going to be watching some good racing later on.
I'm going to go be watching the back of my eyelids and watch it tomorrow at work. But it's definitely been an exciting sub-feature server here. Thank you guys for coming out and watching, everybody. And, we'll be live back with Team VLR on Sunday night with the Sprint Car Series. And, thanks to all the sponsors, everybody. If you ain't gone to Race Spot yet, what are you waiting on? Go on. You got a good race to watch in front of you. So for OCTV, we are out. Thank you for watching tonight.